Welcome back to another exciting show here, live and direct with Dr. G. As always, it is our goal to educate, inform, and enlighten our viewers about topics that we believe to be specifically relevant in today's time. I'm excited today because we have here with us Cedric, Angela, and Barry Haley. They're going to be talking to us about a topic that has been hot all around, not just on social media, but we see it on TV and reality shows. But today we have a real show with real people living here in South Carolina. Cedric, if you would, I'm just going to give you a moment to introduce yourself, and I'll let you tell everyone who we have with you.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. G. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Cedric. This is my wife, Angela, and this is my wife, Barakaya. I've been with Angela we've been dating since we were 16. Um, so we've pretty much been together the majority of our life. I met Barakaya in 2019. Uh, Started speaking with her in 2022 and married her in 2023. So, things are very fresh right now on this end, but things are going very good.
Now, let's make sure we get this right because if we heard you, you said, "This is my wife," and then you also said, "This is my wife." And so when you say married, tell us what you mean by married. I'm going to
So
slow walk
when
this
we
for everyone.
right, yeah, no, that's perfect. So when we say marriage, we mean more of commitment, loyalty to one another. So not in the sense of signing papers to say that we're married. So when we say, "Hey, I have two wives," or whatever like that, it's more so of a commitment, that we have to one another.
Okay, okay, fair enough. And that's why I wanted you to clarify it because we don't want anyone going to jail, not on our
Yeah.
show. Uh, eh, Now I'm going to get to the big part first. Of course, everyone always thinks that this type of lifestyle is one that comes about because of, let's just say, one or two may have a very healthy or overactive drive. I'm trying to say it politely, but I think in having my conversations with you early, it's more than that. So it's
Yeah,
more than just, hey, I have a smorgasbord. I'm a man.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think in this day and time, most people look at polygyny. Well, let me say this. We practice what will be known as polygyny, which is a man that has multiple wives. And then you have the other things like polyandry, a woman with multiple husbands, polyamorous, where everybody kind of can do their own thing. We don't know nothing about those.
Okay,
we
and I'm
only
glad you said that because we titled the show "Living Polyamorous." So, and I
that's
put
fine.
facts because I want people to know that that is not how you're living.
Right. Right. Yeah, so we choose to do this dynamic here. Has nothing to do with sex. It's more so it's an ancient way of living. It's something that we have been doing since the beginning of time, and it was done for reasons of family. It was done for reasons of resources. It was done for reasons of support, businesses, and things of that sort. So we kind of approached it from a business standpoint. It benefits everybody in the family. It takes the burden off just the man doing everything and things of that sort. So we kind of approach it from a different standpoint. If it's just for sex, then you should not try. You should not do this.
So let me ask this question: what do you do for a living? And ladies, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a chance to talk too. What do you do for your everyday vocation?
All right, so I'm in the world of energy. I own my own business called Home Energy Professional. And we do energy audits, engineering from residential all the way to commercial. Um, we do lighting for commercial, sports lighting. Um, we pretty much cover everything, HVAC on any level. So my company covers pretty much everything
Okay.
that deals with the world of energy.
Okay. Angela.
Hello, my name is Angela Haley, and I am the wife of Cedric here, 22 years. As far as my occupation, I am an executive coordinator for my husband's business, so I'm under his umbrella.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
Barakaya
Barry.
Haley. Yes, sir. And I work under my husband's business as well, and I'm also into childcare.
Okay. All right. And so let me ask you, ladies. Uh, Angela, you have been here for 22 years, and then all of a sudden, Cedric comes home and says, "Hey, I have an idea." What were your thoughts?
Well, at the beginning, Cedric introduced polygyny to me years ago, so maybe 10 plus years ago. So it was like stepping stones. So it's not like it's something that was just slapped in my face at the last minute. It was something that he sat me down one on one and had verbal conversations with me. We researched history, we watched different videos, so forth and so on. And of course, I became more comfortable with polygyny, knowing most of the pros when it comes to polygyny versus cons. So I became very comfortable with it. And I then gave him the okay to say that, let's pursue polygyny so that we can enhance our family.
Okay. So, Barry, with hearing that, you, of course, came into family. Tell us a little bit about how that was for you.
For me, coming into polygyny was not foreign. It's something that I actually grew up in. My father was actually polygynous. So it wasn't a foreign idea to me. It was just coming into a polygynous marriage that um, was willing to change the trajectory of what we've seen throughout our lifetime of what polygyny was. We've seen a lot of it happen through infidelity and different things. And so to see a man that came with a plan and a structure already developed and he was ready for it, I was ready to jump on board.
Okay. And that's interesting because you said you came from a background of polygyny. So, Cedric, when you were doing your research, did you say to your wife, Angela, hey, let's go to this? I mean, is there a dating site or something that you look for individuals that want to be a part of the family?
Well, actually, it was through the religion that we pretty much was practicing. Is where we kind of all met. Barakaya is from Guyana. That's where she was born and raised. And it's just through
Gotcha.
meeting, right, through religious background is how we all kind of met, and things kind of happen like that. I would say that dating sites are probably the worst. Well, in my experience, I would say that it's not a good way to meet someone to do polygyny. I think it should be someone that you can actually interact with. You can actually go see, whether that's they have polygynous events, religious events, whether they're vending and they have these African and these things like that. Like going and meeting people is probably going to be the best way or give you the best turnout for polygyny.
So, if I'm hearing you correctly, this is a lifestyle that is embraced by quite a few. Are you
Yes.
in South Carolina when you see this, or are you outside of South Carolina?
I mean, South Carolina, I'm in Georgia a lot. You see it in Georgia a lot. Georgia has a lot of meetups when it comes to uh, the poly world and things of that sort. So I think once you get inside of it and you start meeting people, you pretty much can advance and pretty much get to whatever you need to get to if you're serious about it. Now, there's a lot of people that, like you say, they're just looking to have threesomes, or they're just looking to have some type of, sexual whatever. And that world right there is just not what we try to indulge in.
Okay, so it's not. I'm an old school type of fella, and so I've never heard a meetup. I wouldn't know where to start, and wouldn't be looking because my wife, I don't think she would be as amenable to a conversation with this. But it is interesting because I hear more and more about this type of lifestyle. We see the reality shows that are on TV now. When you see these, how do the three of you discuss what's being seen and heard?
Oh man, it sets this culture back when you see the things that they show on TV and some things they show on social media, because that's not the reality. For those of us that are actually trying to build something, it actually gives a bad name to what it actually is. And people have to do more of studying to kind of dig into where polygyny starts, why it started that way, the benefits it has, because what we see on TV is just that's just not it's not a good representation of this lifestyle. Yeah.
Okay. And I like hearing words like build and study. So Angela and Barry, do you spend time talking about how you can build a family, or do you spend time studying on how to best approach situations involving the family?
Most definitely, of course we do. With our husband Cedric here, he's an excellent teacher. He loves to study. He loves to sit us down to discuss different things. He always asks us for our ideas, any questions, concerns, whatever. We always lay everything out on the table so that we can discuss it and advance ourselves.
And one thing that we do push is open communication. So it's very important within our household to just communicate throughout every part of our journey and how we function as a household.
I love that.
Right.
I love
And just to add to it, and it kind of happens naturally too. So a lot of times you see situations like this, most women will look at that man and say, oh, he's some type of a narcissist, or he's some type of control. In this dynamic, we all kind of just, yeah,
freak.
you hit that, yeah, or that too, or that too. But we're three adults here, and it makes it easy for everybody to kind of, put things together,
right?
See what we can do. Everybody has a voice here. It's just not patriarchy and everybody shuts up and do what I say. But it kind of, you put your thoughts together and you come up with whatever it is that you need.
So you have children?
5.
5. 8.
So I have so Angela has 4 girls.
Okay.
Berechiah has 1 girl. So we're still building. We're still building.
Okay. So that's a lot of Cedric, wait a minute now. That's a lot of females in one household with one man.
I've been trying. I got to keep trying to keep going. You just keep going,
At one time, I was a little bit envious, but now, man, that is amazing. And so,
yeah.
In rearing your kids, are they done so by homeschool, private school, or public school?
Homeschool. Yeah, one second.
Yes, my 4 daughters, they are homeschooled. I have 16, 15, 13, and a 9-year-old.
How long are they?
Okay.
So they've been homeschooled. My youngest 2, they've been homeschooled all of their lives. The first 2, they went to school up to 2nd grade. But other than that, they have been homeschooled by myself. And of course, Berechiah does help out whenever she has the opportunity to do so. And of course, outside of homeschooling, they do extracurricular activities. at a Showtime Academy here in our local city.
My daughter,
Okay.
she's a 1-year-old, so not really in the system yet. But she just moves around with me, and we teach her here at home as much as possible.
Okay. And Cedric, I'm sure you stay busy with that's a lot, 5 young ladies, and then
Yeah.
2 wives. How do you find yourself in terms of how do you make peace when you feel or me feel as though I don't have anyone here that can understand where I'm coming from?
Oh man. Well, that's kind of the purpose of why, I wanted to build this dynamic. When you come up around people that you look for unity and you kind of look for things to go a certain way, I kind of said to myself, I guess being in religious circles and you see that people go nowhere, this was kind of the reason for it, having your own family that you can actually build off of, having your own family that you can kind of see the success.
Right.
You can set visions and goals and you kind of see those things happen. That's where I kind of find, peace, that we're actually moving now. We're actually doing something now, opposed to, the same thing and nobody getting anywhere. So
Right.
just success, setting goals and making those goals come to pass. That's where you pretty much find peace, joy, happiness.
Okay, I got you. Angela, did you grow up with a lifestyle such as the one that you're living, as I heard Barry say that she did?
Absolutely not. I grew up Baptist. I grew up Baptist,
wow.
and yes, so you already know. So my mother and my stepfather, they were not susceptible to the polygynous lifestyle. I've tried, whenever I would go home and visit, I would try to bring up different conversations about it just to get her comfortable with it. But by the time I went ahead and told her, it was like a no, why are you doing this? But thankfully, she has become more comfortable with it. And funny enough, last weekend at our daughter's their performance, my mother and father showed up, and it was a very, very peaceful union with them meeting Barakai for the first time. So they're at peace with it. As far as with
Now,
my biological father, he's very excited. He's been with it from the start.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
now, your biological father, does he have a background in this?
Well,
You say, well,
uh,
maybe in the
he,
non-traditional sense.
right, but he's a great
Okay,
man.
okay, okay. And Cedric, let me ask you: did you grow up in a family lifestyle similar to the one that you live in?
No, we didn't grow up. I didn't for sure grow up like that. We grew up like, traditional Sabbath day keepers. They call commandment keepers and stuff like that. Um, we practiced some of the, Jewish laws coming up, but polygyny was definitely not something that was looked at as acceptable where we come from. Um, it was
Okay,
seen as adultery. Now, Dr. G, now I did grow up where it was people sleeping with everybody. There was no commitments. It was just chaos growing up. So even though we didn't grow up in that type of community, people still did what they wanted to do.
I understand. I understand. And
Mhm.
so, with you and your family uh, bonding as you are, building as you are, communicating as you are, do you have other families that you get a chance to come together with? I know you mentioned meetups, but I'm thinking you're not involved in any more meetups, or does this leave you open to have others join you?
Well, in the sense, there's one family. I won't say them by name. Um, I don't know if I have to okay to say it, but there is another family just as large as mine, and they have 2 wives. that we're with all the time, and we kind of bounce things off each other. We kind of work together a lot, and yes, you mean are we open to like adding to our family as far as?
Correct.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe one more, and but again, this is all based on us having conversations, seeing what we all need in this family. Because the goal is, Dr. G, is to bring back strong families.
Right.
The goal is to bring back those resources, bring back businesses, bring back these things so when our children come up, they don't have to start where we, you know what I mean, started at. So
Right.
it'll be a conversation between all of us if we did anything or brought anyone else in. Because as you can see, you look out there and statistically, I'm just quoting Dr. Claude Anderson, in our community, children grow up at a 70% rate, a single parent home,
Right.
and statistically, that's 5 times more liable to commit some type of crime. So we don't see that strong family structure no more. So we'll do anything, to make the family structure stronger and kind of be a pinnacle in that sense.
And so you share in responsibilities then with the rearing. Barry, you have just as much an equal say with the four children that Angela bore as Angela will have with the one that you did. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. You are very much correct.
Okay. All right. That's Cedric. I have to ask this question too because most old school fellas like myself, Baptist, Christian believers, I sometimes find myself at odds with my wife. Do you find yourself at odds with both of them at the same time?
Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely have moments where we disagree. But the one thing I always push in the household is we got to communicate. When you're angry, when you're mad, you got to communicate because we're not going nowhere. We're going to have to
I
see
got
each
you.
other. We're going to have to work. Yeah, we're going to have to work together. So, yeah, there are times where we have our disagreements and things of that sort. But it's nothing we don't work through.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies, are there some times when the two of you side with each other against him?
Yeah. Okay.
As far as siding with it all depends on what the situation is.
Right.
If I know that Berechiah is right in the instance, which is Cedric is always usually the one that's on top of his game, but
True.
sometimes I'll be that sister and like, hold on, babe, Berechiah, da 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 da. But besides, as far as our interaction with our husband and disagreeing, he travels a lot. So we do not want to be upset with him. And he
Right.
comes home after a week and then we frowning up at one another.
Right.
No, it's always with a smile, with a hug, greeting,
Yeah.
So we never want. And as far as me and Berechiah, we have, of course, we've had our disagreements, but we have never had an argument with one another. So whenever we do have disagreements, we do sit down and discuss it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And I have been,
awesome.
I would say I have
And
been
I
fortunate,
love that.
Dr. G.
I'm sorry.
I
Go
have
ahead.
been fortunate, Dr. G, in that I have great wives. They're totally different than most women that you may see in these situations, man. But it's not all me. I have amazing wives, which makes it easy for us to have a dynamic that we hardly ever have, disagreements and things of that sort.
And I was just going to say, I love seeing the positive vibes between you. I see smiles, and they look genuine. It's not just for the camera of Dr. G. I think that's interesting in itself because, again, I'm not telling anyone this might be something they want to venture into, but I know that it's a conversation and it's topical. Uh, there is something to be said about family that chooses to say, hey, we're going to do this together, as opposed to a man slipping out on his own or a woman slipping out on her own. And so, Cedric, I want to ask you about that part.
Uh-huh.
Is this lifestyle one that would cater to multiple women having multiple men?
Oh, absolutely not. No, 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 no. That
No way.
Dr. G.
So there is some
You
old
know,
school tradition there. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, 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 yeah. Biologically, it just makes sense for the man to have multiple wives, opposed to the woman. They got another word for women that have lots of men dealing with them. So
Well, don't say that. This is a G-rated show. I don't know what the word is, but I don't want to know right now. Text me later. I'll have another show about that. All right. Now, is there
yeah,
anything you would like to say as we get ready to wrap up?
yeah. Y'all can say something too if y'all want to. Yeah, basically, just want to shed light on what this lifestyle really is. It's not degrading the women. It's not controlling women. It's not making women do anything that they're not comfortable with. The lifestyle that we live and what we want to show is that we can actually build strong Black families, in large, and we can build businesses. We can have resources. And a lot of times, Dr. Jal, I like to say too that some people may think, well, the man that's in there, he's using the women to get X, Y, and Z. No, I can take care of both of them and they never have to work. My finances are great and they have to do absolutely nothing and we'll be okay. But we just choose to utilize what we have to get to the next level even faster. So when everybody agrees and you have a plan and you have a vision and you stick to it, this lifestyle is very lucrative. It could be very beneficial, to anyone who's trying to get into it.
Right. And as far as our overall dynamic, my motto is, or our motto is, it is what you make it. So as long as you hit the ground running with positive energy, and we continue to exude that energy, it's going to be very, very positive. So all you have to do is just stick with it, listen to your husband's vision, know his plan, and continue to build a household accordingly.
And it's so important to, like we've mentioned before, have that open communication, and being aware of, who you're building this relationship with. And as the husband, as the lead, he's the one that sets the structure and tone. But us as women, we take it to the next level. Right. And so it's so important to have that unity. And we build our family strongly on unity and maintaining that peace, maintaining that open communication, to just help us move forward. There's no negative energy over here. We're all positive, and we use that on a daily basis.
Okay. All right. Well, I thank you so much. You have definitely given me and my wife something to talk about. No, but I'm sure everyone that joins us for the show, they'll have a little bit more that they are now educated, informed, and enlightened. So thank you so much for everything. I continue to wish you and your family well, and I look forward to talking with you some other time on some other topics. So thank you all.
Absolutely.
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. G.
Mm-hmm.